Hey, all you weather geeks, let's do some weather for weather geeks here on this Friday Eve. It's Thursday evening, the 17th of December. A week from right now, it'll be Christmas Eve, and boy, is it going to be a warm Christmas Eve. We'll talk about the Christmas forecast coming up a little later in the video. First things first, let's review the first 17 days of the month, only 3 below average days. That was during the first week of the month. We've gone on a run now of 12 consecutive above average days. Our streak may come to an end tomorrow. I think we're going to be very close to average tomorrow in the mid-30s. It certainly will come to an end on Saturday with an expected high of only 31. And through the first 17 days, this is the warmest December on record. In other words, if the month ended today, it would go in the record books as the warmest December on record. We'll see if ultimately we go in the record books in first place. I think we've got a decent chance. 11.5 degrees above average so far this month. And that number counts the highs and the lows, not just the high temperatures. That's why you see the average temperature 43.5. The average high, of course, has been much warmer than that, but the average temperature, factoring in all the lows, in the 40s for the month so far. All right, another nice time lapse today, showing the damp conditions this morning, a lot of clouds this morning, and then watch from the horizon coming our way, the clearing right around early to mid-afternoon. Turned out to be a nice day, and then the sunset, nice sunset this evening. So it turned out to be a good-looking day, pretty much as expected today. Temperatures were at their warmest early, and then they fell during the afternoon. We've cooled down into the mid-30s this evening as of about 7:30 in the evening. We have temperatures in the 20s as nearby as the Chicago area, and then you run into a lot of teens. True winter out here across the Rockies and into the Plain States, and up here is where the real cold air is, up in Canada, where some temperatures are well below zero here on this December evening. All right, our morning rain, this is a 12-hour loop, has pushed well to the east. This did not bring us as much rain as I thought there would be. We just missed out on some of the steadier stuff. Down towards Pittsburgh, they had closer to 1/3 of an inch or so. I thought we could get 1/3 of an inch around here, but just missed us to the south and east, so we had on average 1/10, maybe 2/10 of an inch across our viewing area. Snowflakes up across the upper Midwest, northern Great Lakes this evening. That's the cold air mass that's heading our way. So here's Futurecast as we go into tomorrow. As you wake up tomorrow morning, clouds and temperatures in the middle and upper 20s. First time we've been below freezing in, I think, 8 days, maybe even 9 days. So we haven't been that cold in a while. I think as we get into the midday and the afternoon, we'll start to see the sky brighten some. As you can see here by noon, we're in the mid-30s. Some sun trying to work in. Ultimately, a high of about 36 on average tomorrow, with a somewhat brighter afternoon. And then I think the lake effect machine is going to start to crank up by tomorrow evening. You're going to start to see some bands forming up here in Ashtabula, Lake Geauga counties, heading over into Erie County, PA, and into southwest New York as well. That lake effect snow will then continue into the day on Saturday. So this is Friday night. Some of these are going to try to sneak down into the northern part of our viewing area. So if you're watching from north of I-80, you might even see a coating of snow Friday night. During the day Saturday, again, most of this is up in the primary snow belts from Ashtabula County over towards Erie, PA, maybe Crawford County, Chautauqua County, New York, and the south towns of Buffalo as well. But, as we get into Saturday morning, again, some of this stuff's going to try to drift down to about I-80 and could leave some local coatings. Then the lake effect machine's going to start to shut down by Saturday evening into Saturday night, and the flow reverses by Sunday as we get on the backside of this high. You're going to start to see southwesterly winds developing, a warm front pushing in, so Sunday should be the nicer half of the weekend easily this time around. All right, here's our RPM model showing the snow, the lake effect, through Saturday night and into Sunday morning. There's going to be 2 primary bands here. The more impressive one will be off of Ontario, which is a much deeper lake, and it's going to have a very strong fetch. So you're going to see totals out here in what they call the Tug Hill Plateau to the east of Lake Ontario. This is north of Syracuse, kind of between Syracuse and Watertown. There's going to be places up there that get 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet worth of snow. Closer to home, the Lake Erie band, the heaviest amounts will, of course, be in the areas you would expect them to be. Ashtabula County, and then especially Erie County, PA, and into southwest New York. Here's the snow forecast then, showing the bullseye up here in Chautauqua County, New York. Some places get a foot, maybe 15 inches. As nearby as Erie, 6 to 12. Ashtabula County, some places might get 6 or 7 out of this. And the eastern suburbs of Cleveland, 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 or 7 inches. So if you're traveling up into Ashtabula County Friday night into Saturday, if you have travel plans I-90, I-79, just be aware of this. Now, as we look at our viewing area, pretty much a non-event as far as accumulations, except in the far north. I think towards Mespo and Mecca, Greenville, the usual suspects. Someone up here could get an inch, maybe 2, possibly even an outside chance of 3 inches worth of snow out of the lake effect. This is going to be primarily a western fetch, so not too many of the strong bands are going to dive on a northwest flow down into our viewing area. All right, let's talk about the longer range. Again, Sunday's a better day. Monday's our next chance for some rain with a dying cool front. It's hard to even call this a cool front because the air behind it is not really cooler. But there will be some showers with that on Monday. Then again, the forecast becomes tricky for a lot of next week. Here's Tuesday on the GFS suggesting we have a dry day. The sun comes out. The European model is a cloudier idea and maybe even a shower in spots on Tuesday. So already seeing some model disagreements as early as Tuesday. Here's Wednesday. This will be a busy travel day, 2 days before Christmas. On the GFS here, breezy day and some rain showers around. European model shows not as many showers. So, again, a little war here between our medium range models as we go into the middle of next week, both Tuesday and Wednesday. And then here's Christmas Eve on the GFS. Taken literally, this would show a low out across Chicago, a warm front. Let's see, warm front up through here, a cold front back here, and we're definitely in the warm sector here on the GFS, and the GFS actually doesn't show much rain on Christmas Eve. European model also has us in the warm sector, however, it does depict a somewhat better chance of getting wet Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening, and perhaps even a thunderstorm with this. And then we go to Christmas Day, and this has been a model battle for a few days now, certainly, as is pretty typical when you're talking about 8, 9, 10 days out. Now, if you take the model literally, I should say here, European model here, nice day on Christmas. 40s, some sunshine. The GFS on Christmas has clouds and maybe snow flurries around. So again, there's big model differences as far as the sensible weather, starting Tuesday and taking us all the way through Christmas. And again, there's some model wars going on with the temperatures by Christmas Day, but we're in agreement that Christmas Eve is going to be very warm. Here's the GFS on the 24th, Christmas Eve, 65 in Columbus, 59 here in Youngstown, maybe 60. And then the GFS on Christmas Day has us no higher than about 40 or so. Kind of singing the same song it's been singing over the last couple of days. The European model, which has had a much warmer Christmas, again, still has a warm Christmas Eve, suggesting we're in the mid-60s on Christmas Eve, setting a record on the European model. Now, the European has been much warmer on Christmas Day. Today's run came in cooler, suggesting we're in the mid-40s. Still warm for Christmas, but not as warm as was depicted in previous runs. I still think we're in the 50s, probably lower 50s on Christmas Day, with an outside chance of a little rain. Warmest Christmases, just a reminder of the list, 66 is the all-time record in 1982, also a very strong El Nino year. 1932 in second place at 64 degrees. So this is territory we're probably not going to be in this year, although again, I think we could be in the 50s. Real quick word about January. Here's our original January forecast put out around Halloween, showing, compared to December, a colder month, but probably still close to average with the warmer temperatures compared to average up here. That was our forecast about 6 weeks ago. The climate models continue to insist that the December pattern is likely to continue well into January. Maybe not the entire month, but well into the month. And so, before January 1st, we're probably going to have to adjust our forecast for January to allow it to be warmer than average. Similar, perhaps, to the somewhat remarkable month of December that we've had so far. All right, that's Weather for Weather Geeks over 9 minutes, so thanks for sticking with me. If you want to check out my 7-day forecast, be sure and do so tonight on 21 News at 11. More Weather Geeks Friday evening, right about this same time.